Hi everyone, welcome to episode 3 of Draw Along. I'm Rob Simpson, and today we're going to draw a super dog. Grab some paper, a pen or pencil, and some colouring materials, and let's draw. Top left corner as usual, and we're going to draw a kind of, just a dome shape. We're going to use a dachshund sort of sausage dog for the super dog, so we're just going to do no kind of fur details, just nice sort of smooth lines, and just draw a kind of dome shape for the top of the dog's head, about 2 centimeters in width. And then we're going to go straight ahead and draw the ears. Now the dog's flying, so it's going to have sort of flappy, quite wobbly ears. So just come inside from the U shape and start drawing a kind of curving S shape out, and then round, and then curve it round and sort of match the shape backwards and S-ing downwards back towards the head, and that's our first ear. Now we're going to go up to the top, and this ear is going behind the head, and we're going to kind of match that shape on the other side, picking up from the corner, and again do a little curve, go back down and round again, and that's our second ear kind of flapping in the wind. I'm giving the dog goggles because it's a super dog. Okay, so we're going to do the sort of top shape of the goggles that will go around the eye. So just go about 1/2 centimeter over, and we're going to do a little curve downwards, a little flat area, and then curving upwards for the top of the right hand goggle, and stopping about there. Okay, we're going to come down in a straight line just below the ear, and leave a little gap, and then we're going to do a little boxy rectangle shape for the strap. Okay, so watch me go there, do it at a slight angle, and that's the strap holding the goggles on. Now we're going to curve back under and go over the nose and round again, sort of in a again a sort of S sort of curve shape. Watch how I go with the pen, going down quite wide, back up. Okay, then we're going over the nose piece and down just under 1 centimeter. Then we're going to curve round for the top end of the goggle. Okay, and follow the pen line, round we go, and there you go. You can see the dog's goggles. Now we'll fill in the details with the kind of plastic or the glass part, and you want to just follow inside, straight up, and then round again for the first side, and we'll match that shape on the other. Up, rough, leave a little wider gap there, back up again, straight up there, and then match the shape at the top as well. We've got the top of the goggle. I want to draw the strap coming in a little bit, so just follow that line in, up and down, and there you have the goggles drawn. Now it's a dachshund, they've got a slightly pointier nose, so we're going to come outwards and then a sort of curved line round for the underneath of the chin. Okay, so watch as I get the pen ready. We're going straight out and a sort of fairly sharp curve, not too sharp. Then we're going to curve underneath for the kind of dog's, let's have him smiling. Okay, there we go, and we're going to draw the nose in. It's going to be quite big, rounded square shape. Okay, so start on the far left side of the nose, going down, then we're going to go a little U shape inwards, like an M shape, like that, and then curving up, curve around the corner, and back along. There's the dog's nose. And then we're going to do a little, almost like a tent shape for his mouth, curve upwards to the middle, then outwards, draw it quite wide, and then follow a U underneath, and there's the dog's kind of mouth and smile shape. Okay, so we've just done the chin there. We're going to do the neck coming downwards, and then we're going to look at the collar for the kind of superhero cape. Okay, so come about just under 1 centimeter to the right of the nose, and then do a kind of curving line downwards, stopping about there, and then we'll go back up towards the top of the back of the strap, and we're going to do another curved line down about that far, and that's the dog's neck. Okay, and now we're going to do the sort of hero badge, which is holding the cape in. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of a copy from the Superman because it's iconic. So we're doing a diamond shape, and you see, so start with a little trapezium and then down to a point roughly in the middle, and we'll fill in a bit of detail around that later. And then we're going to do a line upwards. This is holding the cape on, so it's like a brooch, and do a curving line upwards to where you've joined there. And then I want you to do 3 little curves just to give that material quality, maybe just 2 actually, there. And now we're going to draw the cape. Okay, so the cape's coming around the back of the head, so we're going to jump up slightly, and we're going to do a kind of curvy, wobbly line for for the kind of cape that's blowing in the wind. I'm going to go up just behind the ear to give it a bit of shape. So starting about there, and we'll curve down, up, like that. Hit your top point, and we're going to wobble for the back area of the cape. Doesn't matter too much, don't be too worried about how you do this, but just wobbling around as if it's kind of blowing in the wind, and then out like that. And then we're going to match that line up. Again, similar kind of wavy lines to show it's kind of blowing in the wind. Start from the lower point of the diamond in the middle, and then wavy line. Don't worry too much about getting it right or spot on. It could just be however you want it to be. And now we're going to draw in a couple of kind of movement lines again to give it that sense of motion. Don't stress about it too much, just throw a few lines in to give it that sense of movement. And we've got the dog's cape in. Okay, next up we need to put the legs in, because the chest is, we've got the leg coming forward from the dog's left side or our right side. So we're going to start in here, so moving about 2.5 centimeters there, and then down from the cape. Another curving line, shall I do this? And this is to the tip of the foot. It's a dachshund, sausage dog, so it's got short legs. And then we're going to put the paws in, very similar if you did the troll drawing last week. We're going to curve round and do a slightly bigger one, and a slightly bigger one. We're giving it 3 kind of little toes. And then we're going to follow the S shape backwards, just getting a little thinner, and then out a little thicker again, back towards the body. And there's our first leg. Now we can draw in the kind of chest shape, and it's in mid-flight, so it's just going to follow around that area with the cape. So we're just going to start about there, just go slightly left of the diamond point, and start curving down, and obviously leave a gap for the leg. And now we're going to follow that line across, obviously leaving the foot free, join back up, curve along like that to keep it quite wide from the neck. Then we're going to join back up here, and we're going to go back towards the body, because sausage dogs have got those quite thin midriffs. Okay, and then we're going to actually go right back for the foot, which is pointing backwards because it's in flight. Okay, so curve back out a little bit, back in, and this is the foot, and we're going to have a kind of little point shape just go in. We're only going to show 2 toes here, I think, to give it that streamlined look, and that's the back end of the foot. And then we need to come back a little bit wider. We need to do a little wobble, okay? So come back around, do a little wobble, that's the back of the ankle, in and out back towards the body, stopping about 1 centimeter from the cape, and that's its back leg. I'm going to have him wearing a kind of super suit, okay? So we're going to put some holes in where the legs are coming through. So start about 0.5 centimeter from your front foot, drawing a circle, wide as you like, or oval shape, as this is more like an egg shape, isn't it? And that's the hole for where his super suit's going. And then we're going to do the same around the back leg. Okay, so this time we're going to sort of start in about here, so about 5 centimeters from the last one. Curve it round, don't worry too much about the shape, and then just bounce it over the leg, and then maybe extend that there a little bit. And that's his back end there, and I just want to curve back upwards towards the cape to finish off. So just do a little curve up. Now we won't see the tail because it's behind the cape, I think. So we need to draw the back leg in, which is just going to go in behind. Follow the rough shape. So doing the same thing, little ankle, moving back out, curve round for the first toe, in for the second. I'm thinking we probably need to just show a little triangle there, because the foot's not that wide, so just go up and out. And there we have our 2 back legs. Now we put the other front paw in, which is going to sit just behind. So I'm just picturing where that would be on behind the dog. It's going to come in from there, I think. And again, go up, down, curve down. Middle toe, out and round. Big toe, out and round. And then just match that shape in back. And we've got the front leg in. Okay. There we go. We've got our basic shape. We're just got a couple of little details just to give it a bit more effect. Let's do a little kind of little square shape in the middle of the goggles, just give it a little detail. And we're going to do a little wavy lines to give it that sense of shine on the goggles. So watch what I do. Lightly with the pen, not as strong as the other lines, just do a little S shape and then match it round on the other side, and then doing that again on the other side, and it gives the effect of kind of glass on the goggles front. And I think we need some detail around the ears as well. So do a little line up like that. Because it's the inside of the ear you can see because they're blowing backwards. So we want to do sort of a line like that. Another one there. Almost like a 3 prongs. Just square off at the bottom. And there we go. We might just give a little black inside so it's like the inside of the ear that we can see there. So that's up to you if you add that detail in, but that's the inside of the ear. And I think again I want to just widen the chin over just a bit. There we go, and just a little darker layer under there just to give it that contrast. I'm also going to do that underneath the legs there. Don't think we need it there actually, and maybe just underneath the cape, just a slightly thicker line just to give it that sense of shadow. And we could do that again here around the cape, just so you can see that that cape's not attached to the body, it's sort of flowing off the body. So just thickening that line maybe a little bit. Okay. Lastly, we just put the detail in for the badge. I'm just going to go SD for Superdog. Draw a little internal diamond like that. So just follow your lines inside. I'll just do an S in the top and then a D down there. Okay, and there we've got our badge. And just remembering, we probably want a couple of speed lines because he's flying super fast, right? So it needs to be like, we want a sort of straight line here. So you can see the shape I'm making with the pen. Don't worry too much where they go, just sort of have a few practice strokes, and we want to go kind of a fan shape outward like that. And we might put one there. Let's put another one here. Let's do another one there, just off the body, and 2 down here. And that sort of gives it that sense of pace and movement. I'm going to put one here as well, and there. So it gives you that sense that he's flying at pace. Okay. Now to finish, we're going to give it a little kind of cool cartoony text. You don't have to do this on yours, but I'm going to do it on mine. Let's go for a little pun. Do a little dash. Nom. Phenomenal. Get the joke. And we're going to draw in Superdog. Okay, I'm going to speed that up just so it keeps pace with the rest of the video, and then we're going to get going on the colouring. So there's your basic shape. I'm going to write in Superdog. We're going to speed that in, and then I'm going to colour it in. Let's colour. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed drawing Superdog. Why not subscribe for updates on my weekly videos, or leave a comment with drawing requests. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Rob's Drawing Club. See you next week.